Hello and welcome back to the Arcane Underground D&D. I am joined, of course, by Holt Rustage.
Hello, why did you do me first? I had a mouthful of bagel.
That's why I did you first. I'm joined by Artemis, the Stupendium.
Hello.
And Milo Conquest.
What?
Good. So I think that's a good sort of like encapsulation of all three characters as well as all three players. So last time, last fortnight's episode, you guys were meeting with a black market dealer called Hadakar in order to twofold retrieve an item for Maverick Den called a Manolite Crystal, which you successfully reverse haggled and paid more for. And then you were also there to acquire some information about an informant, perhaps a mole, a plug, working within the guard tech industries, who's one of the suppliers of weaponry and technology for the government's Inquisition. And you think that this Hadakar fellow has a link to someone who's working in one of the factories that's getting him these supplies from guard tech. So you were trying to talk him into giving up that information, and he said that he will give you some information about that guy if you do a job for him.
Mm-hmm.
You've cleared it with Dan. He said, yeah, go ahead, do the job for him, just be careful. And this is where we pick up. You guys were going to go in, agree to do the job, or not, and then we'll pick it up from there. So you were heading back into the Warhorse Courier. It's the front for Hadakar's black market dealings is this courier business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Journalism.
So we were essentially stealing this thing that he is getting dropped, right?
The job that he's asked you to do, basically, there's a rival operating within the black market that he wants to interfere with, but he doesn't want to send anyone that's known to them so that they won't know he's the one interfering. And he just wants you to go to this location of where this dead drop has been placed for a politician to pick up and just take it or dispose of it. Do something so that the politician won't get a hold of this dead drop, essentially.
Yeah.
Just interfere with the deal. He doesn't care what you do with it.
But and we have pre-established that this is these are illegal goods going to this politician.
Yes.
Like, we are not committing a crime per se by doing this, outside of just like it being naughty. A little bit.
Yeah. No
I mean,
more
handling
than
stolen goods is a crime, right? Regardless of whether you're stealing them again. Stolen goods.
Sorry, morally, a moral crime. We're not doing a moral crime.
It's sort of like a moral middle ground,
Yeah, it's like morally fine with everybody. We're all morally okay with this.
So you guys walk back into the Warhorse Courier, and of course you are led past the desk and up towards the office at the back, and you walk in, and you are greeted by Hadakar. Greeted is a strong word. He sort of nods as you walk in.
Yeah, Mr. Haddock, good to see you again.
Not my name, but yes, welcome back. All is well, I hope. You're ready to pick up where we left off?
Yeah, we got it all cleared with the big dog.
And he looks at Milo and you say, "Big dog."
No, not that one. No, the one that
we've got a bigger dog.
We got bigger dogs. You don't understand
I see.
The scale of dogs in our operation.
Then, if we're all in agreement, allow me to lay out the details for you.
Please do.
This dead drop
I love.
is for one Adan Axamar, a politician, not a particularly important one. He has a private train car in Validus Central train station. It's currently housed in one of the warehouses, and to our knowledge, that is where the briefcase has been placed for him to pick up tomorrow morning when he takes his train. So, between now and then, you need to get yourselves involved and make sure he never retrieves that briefcase.
So we have to get on a private train.
Well, the train won't be moving. It's in a warehouse, you understand.
I see.
It won't be attached to an engine until
Silly
tomorrow.
place for a train to be.
Until tomorrow when he takes his train.
Oh.
Very well. Seems simple enough.
Yes.
How
Well,
are we
give
going
us
to
the
get into this
location of the
warehouse?
warehouse.
Oh, you can't miss it. It's just the north side of the train yard next to Validus Central Station, right in the city centre.
Any security?
There is very lax security around the train station itself, but I'm led to believe that Axamar might have his own private security detail around his train car, seeing as there is something, sensitive within.
Are we allowed to use violence?
I am leaving the method completely in your hands. As long as it can't be traced back to me, then I have no issue.
Right, I shouldn't yell your name. This is for Haddock.
If you want to yell Haddock, that's absolutely fine. Nobody knows who the hell that is. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. Sorry. Haddockar, that's your name, right? I gotta get it right
God,
when I yell at the guys.
Yes, as long as you don't yell anything, we should be fine.
Okay, I won't do that. Pinky promise. Holt's gonna put out his little pinky finger to do a pinky promise.
Artemis's face is like in his hands right now.
I don't know that Haddockar would reciprocate, unfortunately.
Oh well, it's
you know what? He nods to one of it because he has these like two big goons on either side of him. He nods to one of them and he leans forward and gives you the pinky promise on Haddokar's behalf.
All right, that's good enough for me. No yelling. Remember, no yelling.
Well, we'll be back with you within 24 hours.
Fantastic. All right, you guys want to just head straight to the train station, or is there any preparation?
Let's go.
All right, it's
unless
not
you
far.
wanted to go back to the Wandering Stooge.
What time is it right now?
It's sort of like early afternoon.
Do we want to be going under cover of night? Do we want to be waiting till it's dark?
That's smart.
I have my moments.
Back when I was in the army, we'd often just strike whenever we felt like it. We would have loved to have a transition badly.
Yeah.
There was this one time when we were fighting, and my chief turned to me and he said, "Remember, no Elvish." And then we did some horrific things.
This is a crazy reference. All right.
It is.
I like by the way, in canon, in my head, it's like you Rustage aren't eating. It's Holt still has his stuff from the cafe that he's just munching on.
He got 2 cakes, if you remember.
Yeah.
He asked for the special thing, and then they gave him an extra cake.
Yeah.
So,
well, all right, you guys. With the idea of waiting for nightfall, did you want to do that in any particular way? Did you want to go to the train station anywhere first, or what are we doing in the meantime?
I think it's fine.
We could do recon.
Yeah. Okay.
recon.
Yeah, it's not far. You guys are in the central district of Validus right now. What were you saying, Steve?
I'm keenly aware we haven't been to any shops for supplies at any point, and just like I always like putting the DM on the spot with like, what's for sale in this?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to go shopping.
Yeah, well, you guys anyway. You're heading to the train station.
What shops are near the train station? Is there?
I'd like to meet a cast of eccentric shopkeepers.
You're about to meet a cast of the most fucking dull shopkeepers you've ever witnessed in your life. No personality, and they're all called Bob.
Like, I just want to know if this is a costless train station, or is it like a Pret a Manger train station?
Does it have a food court?
The train station
I think it's a
itself.
warehouse, actually.
Well, no. The warehouse is
the
on
warehouse
the train
is
yard.
near the station. Yeah.
So you will know that train stations, big train stations have train yards besides them where the carriages and things that aren't used.
Maybe Milo would know that. I don't think Connor knows that.
Yeah. Milo, you've seen the train yard from a distance. It's fine.
You've chased.
I'd like to go and sit in like ye olde yo sushi for the afternoon.
Yeah, the train station has no amenities like a food court or anything like that. It is just a train station, but within the central park that's across from it, it is flanked by a mall and cafes and that kind of thing. It's very typical European city center kind of thing.
Yeah, typical Diluvian.
Typical Diluvian, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's a plaza.
I'm switching between talking in world and talking to you, the players.
Yeah.
It's more of a park.
It's a plaza.
It's a park. It's a small park, flanked by.
Validus sounds like an incredibly walkable and lovely city to live.
It is great. It's great. It
has a public transportation system, has walkable, nice cafes,
mm-hmm.
and they've outlawed magic.
It's perfect.
I'm really looking forward to the filler arc for this campaign where we just go on days out around the town.
I think we're in it.
Yeah, that's every episode.
Yeah. All right. It only took us to episode 2 to get filler. By the way, I'm pointing that out.
Dungeons and Dragons has no filler.
It has no filler.
It has
downtime, but that is part of the experience.
That's key.
Yeah, that's key for the characters. Anyway, What's the
All
plan?
right. Warehouse.
Approaching the
scout it
station,
out.
you approach the station, and it's like a big, columned entryway into this quite nice marbled like central station. Outside of that, there are fences blocking basically how you would walk towards the exposed tracks and that kind of thing. It's obviously all fenced off, but through the fences you can see at the far north side there is the train yard where carriages and engines that aren't in use are taken and put in either warehouses just stored on tracks out on the gravel sort of fields there.
Holt looks at Milo and Artemis. You do your scouting thing.
Whilst you eat
yeah.
more cakes.
I'll
He just keeps pulling
I'll
more
sort
and more out of his bag.
I'll sort of have a wander around and look for doors, windows, any approachable entrances, and also look for people. Who's skulking around.
I mean, the train station and the train yard combined have a pretty sizable footprint. It's a big area, as you can imagine. The entrance into the train station is just one grand entryway at the front, in front of this like plaza and park. And as you skirt around the outside, there really isn't any other entrances besides like a couple of gates that are, barred, chained, padlocked, that kind of thing. Where obviously like vehicles and people would enter. But they are guarded or locked up pretty thoroughly.
Right, guys. I've just had a big brain idea, and you can tell me if this is stupid or not.
We will.
I will.
Okay. What if we don't try and sneak in, through a back entrance or something? Instead, we find some uniforms of train people. What are they called? The people who work on the trains in the warehouse.
Conductors.
Yeah.
Railway engineers, yes.
Yeah. Them. We can get some of those. Maybe we borrow them, and then we just walk in, all proper in it.
And when someone comes to check our credentials,
No, we don't. We're just confidence. We'll be the middle of the night anyway. Nobody's gonna. But it's not. You just. Back when I was in the army, Artemis, you got to understand. Most of the time, you just needed confidence to get stuff done. That's 90% of the time. We walked into some proper restricted areas just with confidence and a fancy hat.
I'm pretty sure that's a war crime.
Well, listen, all's fair in love and war is what they say.
I'm not sure the Geneva Conventions say that.
Listen, the Granduin Convention doesn't apply when we're in the New World.
I mean, I don't hate the idea,
But I think people are going to recognize that I don't work there.
Why? They don't hire your people group.
Well, unless they have one.
Oh, I see what you mean. So we've
I
got to
think I'm
make
gonna
sure
stick out like a sore thumb.
So first order of business to ask if they have any dog people working for them.
No.
Oh,
that feels like that will draw attention.
yeah. I sort of came up with the wrong solution to that problem.
Yes.
All right, well, that was.
You're allowed to, yes.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
how much can I look like a dog?
What do you mean? Do you mean if you
get naked and get
if you get naked and get on all fours, are you asking would you pass as an actual dog?
Yes.
I think a really big one.
Yeah, I'd look like a really big dog.
With really thick limbs.
And also like an arched back.
Yeah.
You still have that sort of...
The issue is you
to...
don't have a dog's anatomy at all,
arch it.
except for the face and tail.
Okay.
Nothing else of you is really doggish. You're a humanoid.
Yeah, okay. So my legs aren't like hinded.
I mean, listen, if somebody had like a disguise kind of spell, you could probably use that to pass as an actual dog.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have that?
Yeah, do we have any disguise spells?
I have disguise self. I don't know if that can be used on others.
You turn yourself into a dog.
And then we have
Yeah,
two
you make
dogs.
yourself, yeah, it only works
So
on myself. Yeah.
Oh no! If you turn yourself into a dog, and then we got Milo, then we're just like an animorph, like a progression.
So whenever someone comes along, we have to stand still and pretend we're the cover of an animal book. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, we walk towards them, just very slowly. And they're like, "Why is this animals book coming towards us?"
No,
Must be a-
we stay. We get in the train station. We stay very still, and we pretend we're like an exhibit piece.
Yeah.
One of those famous train station exhibits. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just the answer to the Sphinx's riddle, but like a different one.
Oh.
All right.
I think the best thing to do
Uh-huh.
is to go into the train station, hide somewhere until night, until they lock everything up, and we're just inside.
I'm terrible at hiding.
Well, you'll have ample time. We're gonna have ample time to find a hiding place. There's not gonna be. It's not gonna be crazy. We're not gonna have to very
May I-
quickly get into stealth.
may
We'll
I
find
suggest-
somewhere like a broom closet.
May I suggest you two do the hiding part, and I do the stand outside and make sure nobody comes in part, the distracting part.
He is
That
very
also
distracting.
sounds fun.
Because I feel if I try and sneak in anywhere, this fat ass. I'm clumsy. I'm knocking things over.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you guys wanted to head into the actual train station itself, and
I
Yeah.
do
find
have
a
an
hiding place.
alternative solution to posit
Mhm.
that might be unpopular. I don't know. We have back at HQ a young girl who has been proven to be able to turn into a thing that can dig tunnels.
Oh,
We
that's
could tunnel our
genius.
way in.
I'm not
It's how it
really
depends
sure I
how-
want to bring a little girl into a drug deal.
No,
I'll
who
be
said anything
completely
about
honest with you.
drugs?
Yeah,
How did the
well,
drugs
this is-
come into this?
Well,
Yeah, this is-
contraband deal.
Well, no,
I'm
but
not
she
sure
can
I
dig
wanna
the tunnel
bring-
and then fuck off, right? She can go back home. She doesn't have to be there the whole time.
I don't want to involve a 10-year-old girl in this.
She's 12
I-
for what it's worth.
A 12-year-old.
She is
Oh, that's
12
fine.
for what? Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
she's 12.
That's
Put
working
some
age
respect
in
to her name.
Deluvia.
No, but I sort of agree with Milo here. I don't want to put her in any sort of danger. She's already been through enough. Really good idea,
True
though,
enough.
Artemis.
True enough. Now you make a fair point.
But I do have a shovel.
He does have a shovel.
That's the noise of it. I'm
like
pulling
a
it
kung
out.
fu shovel for some
Uh-huh.
reason.
Yeah. No, well, you know what it's like. It was. I got it from the church.
You
For like-
stole it from the
Yeah,
church.
he stole it from the
It's
church.
got like holy properties.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has a
It
hole in
makes
it.
No, it's got holy properties. It's good at digging holes.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
If we think about digging holes, I could,
Okay.
give me a few hours.
Out
I
of the
was gonna say, I fear that's gonna
Mhm.
take way too long and also be extremely loud.
Well,
not the sound of the shoveling, just the sound of Holt grunting
just
the entire time.
You're
The sound of Holt loudly telling an army anecdote about shoveling.
Yeah,
whilst shoveling.
yeah,
to anybody who will listen.
yeah.
It really is the first time that in like years that anyone has stuck around for long enough for Holt to have a conversation with.
All right. So me and Artemis are gonna go into the train station, and we're
Mhm.
going to find somewhere to hide.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is Holt
Holt,
doing
you
in the
remain
meantime?
near around outside the train station.
Like
And
by
you-
the stuff. So once people
Yeah.
have closed off, if there's any like guy that's gonna come back, or obviously the fiends, kind of come in to check up on stuff. I could be
the
outside the front
fiends?
and be like, well, I could, the goons, the private guys.
Oh, right, okay.
Mhm,
If they're gonna rock up in the middle of the night at any point, then Holt will be outside the front entrance, like,
Ready
a
to distract
distraction,
them.
ready to
Mhm.
distract, ready to talk a lot.
Mhm.
I have
Um,
a question.
Yeah.
What?
We're going to hide in the train station so that we can be inside when it's locked up.
Yeah.
We're going to be locked in the train station when we want to be in the train warehouse next door. Will we not end up just locked inside a train station unable to get to the warehouse, which is a different building we have established.
Oh, is it a different building?
It is across the yard. I can't express this enough. There's a big train yard. Imagine like a big, just a giant gravel patch, okay? And then fill it with like railways.
I
Trains.
assumed you were talking about sneaking into the warehouse and hiding there until night. I didn't even realize that, despite Milo realizing that the train yard is a separate thing from the station, Connor Quest does
did
not know
yeah.
this information.
The warehouse is at the far north side of the train yard. The
And
train
it's not
station.
publicly accessible.
Yeah, the train station is
Okay.
at the south side.
Station yard warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Then yes, we go to the warehouse now and try and
In
hide
daylight.
there in daylight.
But what's the benefit to doing it in daylight when we could just do it in the dark?
How are you going to get into
because
the
there's
warehouse?
there's gonna be guards.
Either
There's
way,
probably
there's going to be
not
guards.
Either way, there's going to be guards.
Oh no, there's not going to be guards now. There's just going to be people working there.
Like, for example, guards.
That's how it works, right? When you're out and about.
Okay.
When you go to the bank, they don't have the bank guards there in the bank whilst it's open. They
Okay.
only come in once the bank closes.
So
The
okay.
banks are entirely unguarded whilst they're open.
Milo, we cannot have Connor Quest play the smart character. It doesn't work.
No. Look. Let me solve this for you. So, in your scouting of the train station and the subsequent yard, you will know that the train station itself is largely just a big open hall that leads to the platforms for the trains. When they lock the front doors and they lock like the ticket booth and all the doors, you can still from within the train station access the platforms and thus the rails, the yard, and eventually the warehouse. So if you did hide within the train station, you could then, under cover of night, get to the warehouse. You just have to cross the train yard.
There you go. There you go. And that just solves the issue of getting past the train station portion.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
We will still be getting into the warehouse under the cover.
That
of
was
night.
my initial question: will we end up locked in the train station, unable to reach the warehouse? If the train station can
No.
access
Yeah.
the warehouse without a lock, then we're fine.
It sparked a secondary idea based on this hiding in a place. Oh, once the train station closes, they have to then put all the trains back into the warehouse, right? Or at least, is that how it functions in this world? Holt's gonna ask.
Okay. I will say, of your group's collective knowledge of how the trains work, typically they don't leave them on the rails at the platform. They take them to side rails off into the train yard at night when they're not running.
Yeah.
The only things that go into warehouses are like private carts, special catering cars, engines that are being worked on, that kind of thing.
Well, because my suggestion would be to hide in one of the trains, and then they're going to put us into the warehouse for us.
Yeah.
We would need to know which trains would end up in the warehouse, which it sounds like not many of them would.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we just get in the train station, we hide until night, and then we figure it out.
Okay.
that sounds good.
All right.
That sounds good.
So entering the train station, like I say, it's mostly just like a large hall. There's like, it's mostly marble, lots of pillars. It's quite pretty. There's like stained glass on the very high ceiling, like by the ceiling, these windows that are letting in all these different colored lights. It's a very nice train station. What exactly are you looking for in terms of a place to hide?
Bathroom.
Yeah, there is a
storage cupboard.
there would be both.
Mm-hmm. And
Storage
then is there
cupboard and
any
bathroom.
like ventilation shafts?
Ventilation shafts.
Yeah.
Tell you what, give me
Do they have aircon in Deluvia?
between the two of you. No, they do not. Could you give me some sort of investigation check as you're like scouting out these rooms?
Yeah, I've got a +5 for investigation. Can do that.
Oh, lovely.
wow.
I have +3.
Okay, so Artemis, there's no sort of like ventilation or anything like that, but there are in the toilets. There's private cubicles that are lockable, and there are more than one sort of like it seems like a cupboard or closet kind of janitor's situation. Place where supplies, cleaning supplies, or hardware is kept.
Okay,
They are locked though. They are currently all locked.
I see. Are any of them out of the way enough that a lock-picking sort of attempt would go unnoticed, or are they all pretty open?
The two that you find are kind of imagine. All right. There's like the big main hall. To the side, there's the ticketing office, and then there's a couple hallways that split off. One goes to the bathrooms for the men, one goes to the bathroom for the women, one goes to the loops around and goes to the back of the ticketing office. Down these hallways is where the entrances to these like janitorial closets are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like super out of the way. It's not super private, but it's not in the main thoroughfare.
Okay, we could probably do something with that then. Especially if Milo were to stand watch and keep people from entering down the hallway, I could try and get my way in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to try and get a broom closet open, go for it.
Can I also use some of my fancy tools to fashion some sort of like out of order sign or like awaiting maintenance, do not enter, like an official looking
Yeah.
thing to go on the door?
Definitely
and
within your
we'll just
toolkit, I
ignore the
think
cupboard?
you have, a scrap piece of wood, some wire to hang it up with, and then just something to paint on,
Yeah.
do not enter, out of order, something like that, to that effect, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, well, do we want to do the bathroom then?
But
or do we still
I
want
mean,
to
this
do the
would work
broom
for
closet?
either. I think broom closet's even less likely that someone's going to try and go in there, except like maybe one janitor.
Yeah. Yeah,
cu-
we'll go
cu-
broom
cupboard
closet.
locked
We'll
by
go
order
broom
of
closet.
station master, something like that. And then-
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you fashion the sign, and how are you going about opening this door?
Okay, I assume I do have my thieves' tools, which includes a lockpick.
Yes, it
So,
does.
Mm-hmm.
So,
With that, whatever I need to roll for that to happen.
you would
thieves'
just...
tools.
Yeah, you would roll... If you click on the
Yeah.
thieves tool, it'll make a roll, and just roll it with dexterity.
Okay. Oh.
And I'll keep watch for anyone that comes by.
Yeah, how are you sort of blocking this view, Milo, or stopping anyone from...
Just sort of standing with my big dog form in front of the door.
I mean, to be fair, if you
know.
just stand in front of the door, Artemis's entire
Yeah.
body and the whole action of
Yeah.
unlocking the door would be covered by you, so...
Yeah,
He's a thick dog.
I am
He's
big
a
enough.
thick dog. He's
My
broad-shouldered,
big thick coat as well, just like stretching
mhm.
out with my pockets, just like oh,
All right.
oh
Then-
big stretch.
Artemis, on
Oh.
your sheet, it should say in your
Thieves' tools.
your skill proficiencies.
And then is this dexterity?
It is.
Dexterity, okay.
A 10. I'll be honest, it's not really good enough. You fumble with the lock for a while, and you can't really seem to get
Yeah.
it open.
Yeah, 10 is that's
Okay.
rough.
Yeah. It might just be the case that it's a type of locking mechanism you haven't really encountered, so you're ill practiced with it, but you can't get this one open for one reason or another.
And you're
Okay.
anxious because you're doing something borderline illegal.
In public.
Mhm.
There's no borderline about it.
It's
There's
definitely
it's just
illegal.
illegal.
Yeah. For what it's worth, you did. This was one of 2 janitorial closets that you found. So,
Okay.
You try the
Let's-
other one.
so you
try
might
the
just
other
wanna
one.
try the other one.
Yeah, sure. We could try the other one. Why not?
We'll shimmy along.
Yeah,
we'll just
yeah, you
shimmy
shuffle over
along.
to the-
They're right
to the
next to
next-
each other.
Yeah.
It's the corridor over. You move over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, if you fuck this one up, there is going to be a third closet.
There will not be a third closet,
Still
but
the
there will be a
bathrooms.
bathroom. So
What's behind
Okay.
door number 2? We don't know.
I'm not convinced that you've actually ever picked a lock before.
I don't think Artemis has no sort of beguiling factors. It's,
No.
All
Yeah.
right. I have thieves' tools as well, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to hide it very well that I'm doing it.
You're
Uh-huh.
probably strong enough to just sort of like kick the door open with like your back foot, just kick.
Probably, but that's gonna do some damage here.
Mhm.
So
But that's
I
why
can
there's a sign
I
on the door
can-
that says like door damage. Like don't use this.
Yeah, I can
It requires
try.
maintenance.
I can try and do this door with my thieves' tools and give it a go.
Mhm.
But obviously, it's not going to be very concealed. Is the only problem if I do it.
Uh-huh.
Also, I don't think you can lock pick a door that's been failed lock picked, right? Because it breaks the lock.
It doesn't break the lock unless it's like a
Oh, it
really
doesn't.
low roll. This
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
a this is just like a lack of skill on Artemis's part
Yeah.
is the reason these locks remain shut. If it's a
I'm just
if
there
they
like 20 rolls later, still
Yeah.
failing.
my ruling is essentially if it's like a 5 or less or like a crit fail, then yeah, you break the lock and it's
Yeah.
unpickable.
Yeah. What would be the thing here if I did try and do this lock in Artemis's stead?
You would roll thieves tool with dexterity. The issue is that you are a lot more visible, I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we should go to the bathroom. I think we should go to the bathroom.
I think Holt's actually he's outside the train station, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think gonna get a coffee
Yeah,
for the night shift
yeah.
just while this is happening.
Would
What we
this
need
not be
right now
like
is
your
a whole
third
size
coffee?
distraction.
He needs it.
Yeah.
He needs that caffeine.
All right, you guys heading to the bathroom?
Me too.
I guess so.
Are you with this?
Yeah,
like,
I think bathroom.
out of order sign. Are you shutting off the whole bathroom?
Well, I feel like a cubicle would A, be a bit small for the pair of us, and B, like, if it's the cubicle I'm thinking of, you're going to see under the door. You're going to see 2 pairs of feet in there.
Or we could stand on the toilet.
Yeah.
Bear in mind the
all
toilets. The
night?
toilets here are less like the porcelain kind of thing. It's more like a. It looks closer to sort of like, you know, the medieval sort of big plank of wood with a hole in it kind of thing.
It's a hole, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah, so I can stand on that pretty easily.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be comfortable, but you could hide on top of one of those.
They're not
Yeah.
doing this for comfortability.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We only have to stand on that when someone walks into the bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll put the. I think we'll put the out of order sign on a cubicle because
Okay.
that's a bit less suspicious.
You both lock yourselves in a cubicle, standing on
Mhm.
top of this seat.
Now,
I don't
how
remember what
long
they're
do
called.
they've got to stand there for? How early did you guys decide to do this?
So the train
This
station
was like early
closes-
afternoon.
It was. The train
'Cause
station
you-
closed at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it now?
It's about 1:30. So you have around about 8
how
hours
many
to
times did
wait.
I say, let's go later? Let's go when it's dark.
Yeah.
Let's go. We could have gone to the train station like half an hour before close.
Yeah,
No.
you definitely could have.
Oh, my- you gonna starve? You haven't eaten since this morning.
It's all right,
I've still
guys,
got my
because we
extra
can
coffee
take
with me.
a short rest.
You can take a long
No, you
rest.
can take a long rest.
We'll take a long rest. Make sure we're all nice and healthy.
Oh,
Oh. Well, Holt's walking around outside, right? Well, you
Yeah.
know, I might actually go home for a little bit. I need to get some money because I've been
Yeah.
scrounging off the other lads.
I tell you what. In the meantime, so you two are just gonna lock yourselves in there and wait 8 hours. Understood.
Mhm.
Apparently,
Holt-
yeah. I'll get a long
Holt,
rest, sure.
Holt, you've had your coffee. You get really bored. Listen, your house is only maybe like a half an hour walk from here.
I walk home
Yeah.
for a bit.
The filler
Well,
content.
can you tell us about
continues.
your house? I'm curious about where Holt lives.
I
I feel like it's probably
Yeah,
an
wait.
apartment type thing.
Yeah, it's 100% an apartment type
Yeah.
thing. He's downsized over the years because he
Uh-huh.
doesn't need the space anymore. And it's pretty bare bones. It's
Yeah.
on, but he has neighbors that he tries to talk to,
Mhm.
but they don't really like him very much.
I think as you walk in, there's like a desk man in the building as well. He's like, "Oh, hello, Holt. I haven't seen you in a while."
Hey, Jerry! Good to see you, mate.
Is it?
Wow.
Listen,
Yeah. Wow.
you've got no mail as usual.
Oh, well, yeah, as usual. That's all right. One day, though. One day. I'm waiting for that letter from the president, aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Well, you keep. How's the wife?
Still won't talk to me.
Listen, you keep trying. You know what they say. Cherish your loved ones whilst you're still here. You keep trying.
I
Keep
I
trying. You're
will.
a good lad, Jerry. You're a good lad. Here, do you need a shovel?
No. Well, not yet.
Yeah, Holly's not picking any of this like he wants to kill his wife situation. So he's like, well, just let me know. You can borrow mine.
Right.
Holt just wants to be liked.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna head up back to his room and he's gonna, root through some of his belongings. He's gonna pick up the small little spell book that he has on his table and
Mhm.
keep it. And he's going to get some money.
Yeah. Pull some
Yeah,
money out of
pick
your
up-
savings.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think I have like 12 gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he picks up the gold. Goes, right, well, 18 gold.
18 gold, huh?
And he's just gonna gather up the rest of like his belongings in general so that he can kind of like transfer
Mhm.
it.
I figure
'Cause
that
he-
Holt doesn't really have any like income so much, but he has like a military
Yeah.
whatchamacallit? When you
Pension.
retire. Pension. Yeah, military pension that just pays for his apartment and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But he'll gather up like any of his like loose belongings in a bag, and because he'll want to return that back to the take that to the Arcane Underground because
Mhm,
he
mhm.
knows he'll probably be staying there for a longer period of time now.
Okay, cool.
and he'll take a little look at his sort of worn down apartment, and then turn to leave, passing by Jerry, giving him a little
Yeah.
wave.
In the meantime, what's the conversation like in this cubicle?
Awkward,
Sticks
I
in there.
imagine. Yes.
Definitely reeks.
But yes, and it wasn't designed to accommodate two people, let
Yeah.
alone one of whom is of considerable stature.
There is no running water in this public bathroom, by the way. It's just that these stalls are cleaned out by someone coming and dumping a bucket of water down them to flush them
Mm-hmm.
every couple hours. So right now, yeah, it's probably pretty foul smell. Is there anything anyone wants to do,
Okay.
or are we montage
Is there
fast
anything we
forward?
can
zooming?
do?
Listen,
Is someone gonna
is
someone gonna come in here in 2 hours?
There are there's several moments where you hear footsteps, either of people using the
Uh-huh.
toilets or what sounds like someone coming and flushing the toilets, but nobody disturbs the cubicle that you guys are in.
But
Okay.
anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's Milo Murphy's law.
All right, I guess then we'll just
and
fast
if
forward
we're just waiting
to
for clothes, then yeah.
Yeah.
eventually it gets
Maybe
very
we play a game of cards or something.
yeah. Oh, you do have a set of cards. It gets very, very quiet eventually, and you figure, I don't think you have any timekeeping devices on you, but you figure it's probably around 9 p.m.-ish.
Are you telling me that Artemis doesn't have a pocket watch?
Oh, I mean, that's
You're-
true. That's
Artemis
true.
is the most pocket watch
You're
triple
so
character
right. You're so right.
in the universe.
You're so right. Artemis,
There
do
is-
you have a pocket
Yeah.
watch?
I imagine I have some sort of.
It is 9 o'clock
Mhm.
then. You check
I
your
can
little
half
pocket watch.
imagine Artemis having a fucking clock built into their shoulder, like as part of their like decorum.
It's 9 o'clock. You emerge from the cubicle. You are so hungry. And yeah, the station seems empty, abandoned.
Okay. Super. So we've,
Alright.
we've left the bathroom.
Let's left the bathroom.
Halt on the outside.
Head over
You've seen them.
to-
You've seen them lock the front doors. There is no one stationed outside. There's no one on guard or anything like that. It's just.
I'm
an
like
empty-
standing outside the warehouse, just.
Oh, you're outside the
chilling there.
warehouse. Okay.
Well, yeah, because that's what I want to prevent people from going.
I see.
into,
You've
right?
you've looped around to the north side. You've stood outside the
Yeah,
warehouse.
yeah. So I'm like chilling, and it's sort of like I've got vision of the yard and the warehouse in a way. Like
yeah.
I can see if people want to get in,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of sitting there. You know, I'm pretending
What's
to
that?
be homeless,
That's fair.
like a homeless old man.
I don't think
sitting on the
anyone
street.
would doubt that you were if they walked past you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I put
alright,
a sign
alright.
out there. There's money for.
we're
veterans.
gonna head out to the yard
Mm-hmm.
and scurry on over.
Yeah,
we
the,
wanna do
the
any
train
sort
yard
of
itself is
perception
pitch
check?
black. I will say that. There's
Yeah.
no lights, artificial lights. There's a handful around the very edges of the yard on the fences, and you can see sort of at the four, not four corners, at like the four middle points of these fences. There's like a gate and a little post where it is manned and there's guarded and there's someone there, but they are very far away from you right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll just stay under that cover of like complete darkness and head towards the warehouse sector.
Yeah, I mean, moving between the train cars that are on these different rails that have been left overnight. You get to the warehouse building, which is a lot smaller than the station, and you see that there's like several large sort of shutter doors that would be open during the day for trains to come and go, but those are all closed right now. And there is also a handful of smaller doors dotted around the warehouse building.
Okay.
And I think also as you approach the warehouse, you probably see the figure of Holt on the outside of the fence,
Right.
like just off to the side
That
of the
homeless
warehouse.
man
Maybe.
looks a lot like Hulk.
Yeah.
Are we going to engage with Holt at all, or are we just
Well,
leaving him there on the watch?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to properly
Nah,
because I'm not in the train yard or anything.
Mhm.
I'm on the streets.
Sure. I assume there might be a fence we could talk through if need be, but
Yeah. You could
That'd be
if
all
you needed
itself.
to, you could walk over and probably make contact. But
right. But currently we don't need or want to do that. Okay, cool.
okay.
All right. So
is
what's
there
the?
any way
no, go on.
into the warehouse that have any like higher like windows or balconies or doors, any sort of roof access?
there are
anything like that?
there are several windows that you can see from here that are higher up. You can't tell if they're like hinged or anything like that, or if you could like open them or if you could crawl through. But there's no sort of balcony or anything like that. It's a warehouse. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what the roof looks like, but you imagine it's sort of corrugated iron, maybe a window here or there. But probably not much in the way of like infrastructure to get up or down.
Right. Well, because I have jump and I have feather fall, so I'm very good at getting to high places and getting down from them. So if there's a way up to the roof and like a skylight in the roof, I can jimmy and then jump down into.
Yeah, I mean the roof.
That's a way in I have.
The roof is probably 30 feet up.
Yeah. I like the concept that you have these two spells, but you never get to use them.
I've used them already.
They have used jump
in your
once.
life. Yeah,
in your day-to-day life.
Like a man who's just bought a jetpack and is really, really keen to get some use out of it.
Well, we could go to the side of the warehouse, and at the very least towards the window area, I could give a hoist and a lift or a jump with your jump, get you to like a higher sector of this warehouse.
Yeah, well you say the warehouse is 30 foot tall. 30 feet is how much jumping power jump gives me. It's 30 feet.
I see.
Well, then you'd need that little extra push from me then, because otherwise you'd just come to the end of it.
Well,
okay. Is it 30 feet on top of what you already have?
It just says I can jump up to 30 feet by spending 10 feet of movement.
Okay, right.
Oh, that means you can jump more than 30 feet, right? Because you have more than 10 feet of movement. Right?
No, I don't think it's like you spend more movement and you can jump further. I think it's by spending 10 feet of movement, you can make this empowered jump, which is up to 30 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, with an extra little shove from Milo, you would very easily get on top of the roof.
Yeah, or even just a box to stand on. Yeah, obviously like that around.
Yeah.
All right.
You doing that?
So, from my paws. Hoi!
Okay. I do that.
All right. He hoits you, and you cast jump, and you leap very gracefully through the night, and you land on top of this warehouse roof. And sure enough, it's sort of like several triangular kind of points, that, like several Toblerones. And you moving across, you see there's a handful of windows, skylights on these. They're closed, and they don't seem to be hinged and openable like that, but they also seem very fragile for what it's worth. Looking through one of these windows, you can see inside there's several tracks of rail. There's like 5 tracks of rail with like a couple like engines and carriages dotted around, and oddly enough, there is lights on in one of them.
Okay. But the windows themselves aren't hinged, so the only way through them is to break them. Not the most subtle.
Have you got any of those big suction cups?
I mean, I've got carpenter's tools, weaver's tools, smith's tools, woodcarver's tools, tinker's tools, and thieves' tools. Would any of those professions have
no
big
glass cutting
cups?
tools, unfortunately?
No, I did almost pick glass blowers tools at one point, but I didn't.
You guys get tools?
Well, Artemis gets hella tools.
I don't thieves' tools, and that's
from their background.
We were genuinely surprised as we were building the character. Like, oh, another tool set. Oh, you get another tool set.
You got like 8 tool proficiencies or something.
Yeah. Okay. Anything I can do here to silently break a window?
I mean, doesn't have to be silent.
No, it's a little attention grabbing, especially if it's
It
30
is.
feet up. Shards of glass falling 30 feet is going to be quite loud.
Yeah.
Well, Holt just got to be louder.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
If
could.
Holt hears a noise, he's going to fart really loudly. Try and cover it.
Holt just has to piss briefly.
That would cover it up, to be fair.
But genuinely, Holt is already prepared. If a loud noise comes from the warehouse, Holt will make a louder noise to make anyone in the vicinity be more attracted to him than their warehouse.
Okay.
Well,
Sure.
It's on you because you're up there. I don't know what's going on. So
yeah, we are 3 characters
well,
at 3 different locations with no way of communicating to each other.
yeah,
this
We
is
just
true.
got to make our independent decisions.
Yeah.
Well, and now I know what Holt's mindset is on loud noises. Not that I would know this, but
well, I assume he would have explained that to you.
okay,
previously
sure.
for you
Let's
being
maybe-
let's
yeah,
say
no.
that was a discussion
Okay.
had, and so
Yeah.
I take out one of the multitude of hammers I have and just sort of smash through one of the windows in
Yeah,
as
these
subtle a way as one can.
the panes of glass are pretty large. You make like a small little and like fracture it, and if you just push on the pane of glass, it will all those like independent pieces fall through and shatter on the ground 30 feet below.
Does Holt hear it?
Yes.
Holt will go, "Oh, the end is near."
Okay. Artemis,
No!
Artemis,
Gods are angry.
from your vantage on the roof through this broken panel of glass, you hear from the inside of the warehouse a voice go, "What the fuck was that?" And then you hear Holt's voice, and he goes, "What the fuck was that?"
The end is near. There are gods and they're angry. We have so many gods and they're all angry. They're all pissed off.
Can you give me a performance check,
Oh, great. Yeah.
Holt?
I got a roll. Oh, God, I'm not so great at the old performance.
Christ.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can't not. Like, what am I What is this performance check?
It's more about like the how much you're selling what you're saying as this character, this lunatic character.
Oh, I guess it'd be like, yeah, you're right. So, I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's definitely unbelievable.
It does come across as I'm not genuine in the things that I'm saying, but I'm still making a loud noise and being a nuisance.
Yes, no, you absolutely are. The obviously the people in the warehouse definitely heard the smashing glass, but in combination with the wailing, probably combined the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they think I'm smashing something outside.
You hear some muttering, Artemis, from your vantage, and you see this sort of armored dwarf muttering to someone else, and then they walk out from this one lit up carriage and make their way across.
Recognize the dwarf?
Artemis does not recognize the dwarf, no.
Okay, it's not the dwarf from the hideout.
No, it's just a dwarf.
Yeah.
He's in pretty serious looking armor. Actually, how is your religious knowledge?
My religious knowledge.
Yeah.
It is not. It's a plus. I've got +3.
+3. I think with a +3, you would recognize this. It's he's clearly in the armor, the sort of the outfit of the Church of Girod, which is a church whose clerics are usually hired for protective services. Girod is a god of.
The Church of Girod sucks.
You don't know this, Holt, but
No, I don't. But he's taking a punt.
Yeah, I see. This is a church whose clerics are usually hired for the use of Girod's magic, which is a divine magic concerned with like protection and homes and that kind of thing. So he's marching
You
off.
can't protect shit.
He's marching off from his station at this carriage towards one of these little doors to the north side that leads out onto the street rather than to the train yard. And then he'll leave your vision as he does so.
Okay.
Is there anything anyone's doing in the meantime while Holt continues this racket?
Yeah. What's Milo doing right now?
So I'm still by the side.
You will hear all of this, by the way, as well.
Yeah. I've 100% heard absolutely everything that's happened. I'm just having a small check just to see if there is anything.
Are there any
Anything that's good
doors
here.
that
I mean, I have dark vision.
Yeah.
So I'm actually
you
pretty
do?
good at seeing everything
I mean,
that's happening right
Yeah,
now.
there's no windows at your level, so you can't see into the building. But there are,
Yeah.
like I said, there's the giant shuttered doors, which are all locked down right now. But there's
Yeah.
also several regular doors at different intervals in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Is there one that? Because I have Mage Hand. Could I open whatever one is nearest to Milo?
What's
to
the
let
range
Milo
of
in?
Mage Hand?
It's 30 feet again, which is how high I jumped. So assuming the door is relatively near below me semi-directly, it's probably roughly 30 feet.
How are you trying to open it here from the inside?
I'm hoping, and I'm assuming I can just visually tell that it's locked by some sort of latch. So like from the inside, you can just.
It has one of those kind of like push bar latches. Yes.
Yeah.
From where the window is, 30 feet.
I mean, at this point, can't you just jump down?
I could jump down.
You could
first, yeah.
jump down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, I would jump down, but not before casting Featherfall.
I see. So yeah, you gently float down into this dark warehouse.
I think I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, you
Is
gently
there
float down
anything
into
I
this-
can jump down to be on like a rail carriage? Not specifically the one we're after, but just so I'm not at ground level.
Yeah,
like
absolutely,
Down
yeah.
to on top of something.
Yeah, there's some that are attached together, some separate on the rails. They're kind of all over the place. You'll jump down on top of one of them.
Cool. Whichever one is nearest, I can get to the,
yeah.
the intended
And then
one.
now that you're down here, you can very easily, if you
Yeah.
wanted to use Mage Hand, you can very easily push the latch on that door.
Okay, then I will do that.
Then Milo, you will see this. The Mage Hand is visible, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mage hand is invisible.
Oh, it's invisible?
It just says it says a spectral floating hand.
Okay, then
appears,
you'll
I
you'll
assume
see
it's
the
visible.
door open, Milo, and a big hand on this, a big blue hand on the latch opening the dwarf.
Oh, it
the
doesn't have to be
dwarf, the
blue.
door.
Oh, lovely.
What color, Artemis? What color's the hand?
Let's say it's orange.
Ah, of
Yeah,
course,
it's an
of course.
orange
It's my fault. My fault.
Yeah.
Get your hand colors right next time.
As you see this door open and you presumably make your way inside, Milo, halt. Similar time, a door will open near you. I'll say like
Oh, great.
20 feet away from you, at the front side of the warehouse, a door will open, and this dwarf peeks around the corner. He looks at you. He locks eyes with you. What the fuck's all this racket?
Oi, mate! You want to donate to the homeless? I don't have any legs anymore.
He steps out. He's kind of ignoring you, and he looks at the building next to you, like this side of the warehouse, and he's like, "Did you break a window? Hold on. There aren't any
Yes.
windows."
I broke the window in my heart.
Right.
I smashed a bottle I've been drinking.
Get gone.
Hey, you don't say that to me. I was in the army. I fought for your rights.
You see, he draws from his back an axe. It's like, I said, get gone.
Whoa! That's illegal. You can't do murder. They made that illegal. Unless you're on the battlefield, then it's rewarded. Ironic. All right, you want to go?
Are you stepping up to this guy?
I want him to step up to me. Do you know
Okay.
what I mean? I
Yeah,
want him
yeah,
to approach
yeah,
me
yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to me approach him. 'Cause
he
I want him to get
will-
away from the warehouse.
He will approach you. As he's doing that, Milo, Artemis, you guys probably lock eyes as you see Milo entering the warehouse. It's dark in this corner of the warehouse, and you can see the glow of some sort of light from the far end where this other coach is.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's that train car that we need to go to, the one with the lights on. So I think we'll skulkily head over
Skulkily?
that train car. Yeah.
Is there anyone else
Hopefully.
about aside from obviously the dwarf that has now gone outside to deal with Holt?
You can't see anyone right now, but you heard another voice that was talking to this guy before he went over to investigate the noise Holt was making.
Okay.
So you're
So, yeah,
skulkily approaching.
Yep, I'm on the
Skulkily
roof of a rail
approaching.
carriage. If there's any way I can stay at that sort of level, we're jumping from carriage to carriage. That would be pretty cool. I don't know how
the
big the
carriages,
gaps are between them.
They're quite far away. There's obviously like some
Alright.
trains that are like attached together still in links of carriages, but you're on kind of like a solo one right now.
Okay.
And it's to be fair, it's
In
not
which
that
case
far. It's
I-
like you're like 40, 50 feet from the carriage that you're looking at
Okay.
on
Yeah.
the top of this one.
In which case I drop down and rendezvous with Milo on his way past.
Okay, you two drop down. You're walking together now.
Yeah.
Halt. This guy is fully approaching you with the axe. He's like, last warning.
I wish I got a last warning. Back in the army. Hey, I look very forlorn. I mean, like getting into the role very much. I want to do a disarming strike on him, though.
Okay.
Is like I want him to get close to me
He's
and
close
feel
to you.
like I'm trying to make Holt look look as weak as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you what? Okay, because you have a very big sword.
Yes.
What did you do with that sword? I'm presuming it's still
I
just
still
on
have-
your back.
Well, right now it's on the ground with
Right,
the rest of my junk.
Right.
Right. So it is pick upable and swingable.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if he sees you as armed and deadly as he
I see what you
approaches
mean.
here.
Well, my disarming strike I will be making will be unarmed, so he's not
see.
going to see the sword.
Okay, cool.
It's in the pile of junk near me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then please. He gets right up close to you, and he looks like he's getting ready to swing his weapon. If you want to make this disarming strike.
I will make an unarmed strike, which would be a disarming strike. Let's see if it hits.
It hits.
It hits.
It very much
It
hits.
hits. So the damage is there. It is. Bosh.
Okay, 9 damage.
Well, it's an additional D8 because it is a and then he's got to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
So Holt, as this guy gets close to me, trying to intimidate this old homeless man, Holt stands up and tries to like punch the axe out of his hand. I learned this trick at the army. We used to use it on dwarves all the time. Don't ask why we were fighting dwarves. I don't quite understand what wars
were
I
you
was
in?
in yet.
Okay.
I need to have a DM tell me what wars existed in my lifetime.
That's so true. Actually, I should do that. Right. What? Where the fuck? Sorry, I'm trying to write his health down, but I've fucked up with his token. All right. What does he need to do? A strength saving throw?
Strength save.
Strength save.
Good luck.
All right.
I
Saving
mean, probably
throws
get it.
are
I'm only level 3. I don't drop any loot.
7. He
Oh, he
rolled
failed.
really badly. Yeah.
The axe goes flying out of his hands. Smashes a window, ironically.
Yeah. You very easily disarm him. You take him by surprise.
Yeah. And then I look at it and I go, "Oi, not so homeless now, am I?"
You really did it.
What does that mean?
Do you have a home now?
Yeah. What? All right.
Not so homeless now.
I'm gonna live in your memory.
Rent free.
Okay. The issue here now is that Holt started
Gilrod sucks. Wait, what's his god again?
Gilrod.
Gilrod sucks, mate.
Gilrod, yeah. The
What's
issue.
the rival god to Gilrod? Like if they were football teams.
Oh, Gilrod, probably like.
Could
You know what? His rival
that
god
train of thought in blood.
is. Orevar.
Yeah.
There you
Oriva! Oriva!
All right. I would like everybody to roll initiative because there's quite a ruckus going on outside. Okay, so it's going to be the cleric directly in front of you, Holt, who retaliates immediately, and he's going to start swinging this axe of his that
The one that he doesn't have anymore.
he
Yeah, I
doesn't have.
disarmed
You're
him.
so right. He doesn't have it. He's gonna go swing his axe and then go. Oh!
It like went through a window and it hit someone else.
All right. Now that
Yeah.
he's disarmed, actually, this guy is going to be like really pissed. He's going to reach out both of his hands and he's going to cast a spell. He's going to cast Inflict Wounds. You need to make a
I
Constitution
was wrong
saving
about
throw.
you, actually. I was wrong about you. Let's be friends.
To be fair, you've always known that the clerics and the church have access to magic.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So I need a con
Logically,
saving
yeah.
throw.
a con saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Me when my local anime convention is going through hard times.
Oh wow!
How does
Yeah,
a
no,
21 sound?
you go crazy. I think this still deals half damage.
What is it?
Let's
What
see.
was he doing to me?
Inflict wounds.
He's trying to inflict wounds?
He is, yeah. But you
Okay.
successfully saved, so he's going to deal 7 damage to you, necrotic, as you
Okay.
successfully save.
I'll take the 7 damage, but I'm like standing strong, and he
Yeah, no, you're-
visibly sees that I'm taking no damage from this.
He's a
I
little
say,
shaken up.
"You're
I'll be
trying-
honest.
You're trying to inflict wounds on me?
Hell are
Protected
you?
by Orivar. Defense! Defense! Orivar!
All right, hold, it's your turn already.
It is. Oh
He's gonna
gosh, I
fist
guess.
fight this guy.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I still haven't picked up my sword.
Yeah.
And it's a little far away. So I have to just punch him again.
Can you
That's
pick
all I
him
can
up
do.
and hit the sword with him?
Where
Oh.
did this guy's axe go when you disarmed him?
In through a window.
Through a window. So it's just gone. Actually, it's out.
But the thing is, and my sword is not within range.
Yeah.
of
So you guys are
reachable
just
range.
fist fighting. You guys are just
Neither of us
brawling.
have weapons on us.
tavern brawling.
Proper tavern brawling.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's not bad. Okay, I will just punch him then.
Mm-hmm. That
9,
does not
that
hit. No.
All right. Well, yeah, it just like bangs against his armor. It makes a loud boing. That's not the noise.
Boing.
I assume it'd be a clang. I just tried to
armor
do
is
a
made of
clang.
jelly.
He's fighting SpongeBob.
Okay. Do you have any other actions?
Who do you think I am?
I don't know.
Action surge. Punching again.
He's got 2 fists.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, you're right. Sorry, I do. A fist is a light weapon, is it not? So I can actually use my bonus action to punch with the other fist. Right? Am I?
Good question.
Yeah, I can do
Unarmed
that.
strike?
Yeah, right?
Unarmed strike. Hold on. I'm looking at the rules for unarmed strikes.
Yeah,
Instead of using
yeah.
left to make an attack, you may punch, kick, headbutt, a similar forceful blow. Melee attack that involves using a body.
I know
Unarmed
monks
strike is
can do
always
that.
considered a light weapon.
I don't think it's considered a weapon at all, is the issue.
Yeah.
It's just considered an
but,
unarmed strike, quote unquote.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Well, I don't. Well,
You can, okay, yeah, when you can unarmed strike. It doesn't
Well,
really
maybe
say
not.
in the player's handbook, but it says that when you make an unarmed strike, you can choose when it hits to either damage, grapple, or shove. Is the 3 things you can do.
Okay, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't.
But yeah, I
Maybe
don't think it
is
counts
a-
as a weapon at all.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
I think you might have to be a monk
I
to
don't
do that.
think so. It's okay. I'll action surge anyway.
Okay, go crazy.
I'll action surge, and I guess. Yeah, I guess throw hands again. I was gonna maybe grapple, but it does just make more sense to just throw hands. Does he have any other weapons or anything on him?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we just throw in hands.
Go for it. Yeah, I mean, it's just strength plus proficiency, right? Is that 6 for you?
Yeah.
20,
Hey, I'm a
you
bum
hit.
for it.
You hit.
I hit. There's the damage. 7.
Okay. You
Mash
don't
his face.
roll the dice for an unarmed strike. It's just 1 plus your strength modifier.
In
2024, yeah.
Oh, really? Well, listen, I'm using whatever the sheet gave me, and I just pressed it. But I guess then it would just
Oh, I
actually
did
be
that.
5.
Yeah. 5. All right, he'll take another 5 down, which is pretty meaty, to be honest, as you connect. How are you punching him?
I'm punching him in the face.
Just
By hand.
just rapid strikes to the face. Yeah, fair enough. Then
Um,
yeah, you get a good strike and he spits blood. He's like, "You bastard!"
Yeah.
Anything else that you're doing?
Hey. I don't know. I spit at him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I go, stand down. I've been recently homed.
Right. Milo and Artemis, you guys will hear what sounds like a little bit of commotion from near the train carriage that you're looking at, and footsteps, but you can't see anything right now.
Uh-huh.
And Milo, it is your turn.
Yeah, I would like to make a perception check to like hone in on those footsteps and see like where they're going
Okay, yeah.
with my improved hearing.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, perfect. I guess the word advantage doesn't mean anything to you, but that's fine. You can roll without it as well.
Fine. All good.
It sounded
We're all
like
good.
another pretty heavily clad person made like this kind of movement around the carriage. So they're on their way
Okay.
towards you, but towards the exit where the fight is happening. So
Well, I'm
they're
gonna
somewhere in the shadows
gonna-
next to the carriage.
I'm gonna, in that case, tell Artemis to sort of fall back to this way, and I'm going to fall back to this way and go like around this train cart
Okay.
and hide sort of in these shadows.
So you're gonna attempt
and
to...
I guess I can sort of peek and like maybe
Okay.
if I move here, that sort of gives me a good like vantage area,
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
and which
So
I
you-
assume is
Yeah. You run back
these.
behind the carriage that behind,
yeah.
knowing that these footsteps are kind of coming in your direction, and you tell Artemis to do
Yeah,
the same.
no,
Is that your turn?
I will inform that.
I don't know if you have any bonus actions.
I think as a bonus action, I am just gonna conjure my Shadow Blade just to be safe.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, just have it
And-
like there.
Artemis, it will be your turn.
Well, I will follow,
Mhm.
as suggested, in an attempt to remain out of sight and undetected. So I also move round to where Holt is.
Milo, I mean.
Where Milo is. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't. Hi, Artemis. I'm punching a dwarf.
Oh wait, I just realized, Milo, you kind of moved 60 feet on your turn. Yeah, I don't think you really measured how far
Alright,
the
maybe-
cut is.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
a pretty,
maybe we
it's a
just
pretty
move, like,
large.
Well, Milo can move 60 feet
yeah.
on his turn if he doesn't do anything else with his action, right?
He did a perception check.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a
I did
dog.
a,
Let him
I
have
did a
it.
hearing perception check.
I think as a dog, he can move 60
I
feet.
think considering it's dark around here and like we're like in front, like pressed against this back of the train car, I think it should be fine.
Yeah, you're also
Train
kind of in
cars
the opposite
also are like
direction.
raised
yeah.
off the ground.
Yeah.
There's room underneath them. You could be sort of
Yeah.
tucked in quite a bit.
What else do you want to do, Artemis? So 30 feet of movement you've used.
I mean, if we're trying to remain undetected and let Holt sort of be distracted, there's not a lot else to really do. I guess
anybody else coming outside to come deal with the whole situation? Or is it just this one dwarf?
They've heard one-
that's what I'm hearing.
They've heard one
that's what
person
I've
on their way
perceptibly heard.
towards your fight.
Okay, great. It might be time to pick up a sword.
Which of these carriages on the map is the one we're heading for? The one on the
It's
left?
over in this direction.
Oh, so, okay, so in that direction. Okay, so
Yeah.
do we have line of sight to it right now?
No.
No, we're behind a
No,
train car
Okay.
You did
Okay,
you
cool.
did a moment
So,
ago,
right.
but now you don't.
Okay.
because we
Uh,
moved
so
back because I heard.
Is there any sort of investigation or perception check I can do on it? Let's pretend I haven't made that movement yet.
Okay.
I can do.
Yeah, you could make some sort
Go back
of
in
check. But what are you
Yeah,
what are you
just-
looking for?
Like how any protection it has, any sort of like the layout of it, any info I can glean
Sure, yeah, give
on
me
how
give me,
best to get
just
into
give me a
it.
perception check then.
Perception. There it is.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean it's a
22. Your
it's a
eyes.
standard passenger car. You can see it's pretty fancy looking. But it has a door at the front, a door at the back, and a door on the east side. The east side door is to get on the platform. The north and south are to connect to other carriages. But they're all obviously like 6 to 7 feet off the ground. You can see light through the windows. Most of the curtains are drawn on it, so there's like just light spilling out from some sort of candlelight inside of there. You can see what looks like the shadow of somebody else inside, but it only looks like one person.
Okay. Okay, cool. That was my main thing. Is are there other people in it? So cool. And then yeah.
And
so I know that now.
that's a third person.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Is that all you're doing?
I believe so. Yes, and I've run on to catch up with.
Then
Milo.
Holt, this guy is gonna try swinging at you with his fists again. Well, I say again for the first time. You've started turning it into a tavern brawl, so is he. It's gonna be 1d20 plus. Oh, sorry. Plus 12. Does a 12 hit? Holt.
Against Holt? No.
Yeah. Okay. Then
You should know that.
he's swinging wildly, and you just parrying him easily.
Well, and you know what that means.
You know what that means. All right, let's see it.
Yeah. Is he just swinging his fists?
Yeah, he's trying to punch you.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I shoulder the arm, and I'm going in for another punch in the face, and we're having a proper brawl. Actually, will you permit me to lariat him, or do some sort of other wrestling move, like a
what
power
are
bomb?
you trying to do here? You're trying to put him on the ground?
I'm not really trying to do anything. I just want to make it look cool.
Then yeah. Then yes, you can attempt to lariat some sort of clothesline.
You know what? I'm gonna RKO him.
Okay, you try to RKO him. Go for it.
Great, thank you. So I'd have strike. What does an
Oh.
11?
He counters. No, he doesn't counter, but he
Oh,
shrugs it off. He shrugs it off.
Through a DDT.
You're not
I
gonna be able
was
to
probably
again.
getting a little bit confident. Sorry, mate.
But it is your turn.
Oh, it's my turn now, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me do it. You said I could shove with the unarmed strike, right?
You can grapple, shove, or damage, which is just a regular hit.
Because I think whoa, he doesn't have a weapon on him currently.
No.
But well, I'm still gonna shove. Would it still do damage with the shove? I don't know. The new
If you
rules.
shoved him into something, but right now there's no like walls really or anything that you can shove him into.
Well, I can sort of move around him and then shove him into the wall.
Yeah.
I
You could try and get him against the wall of this warehouse, shove him into it.
Cool. Because then when I shove him, I can go and pick up my weapon.
True.
All right. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. Do I have to roll to hit to do that? or
Yes.
is it
So
like-
give me an unarmed strike again, and if it hits, he'll have to make. Wait, does he have to make something? No, you don't. You don't need to make an attack roll. Sorry, he just
Yeah.
makes a strength or dexterity saving throw. Against the DC is 8 plus strength plus proficiency. What's the DC?
Yeah. 14.
14. He's gonna try and make a strength saving throw against 14. He succeeds. You try and shove him, but he just stands in place.
you one
He's very
Tough
heavy.
bastard. Ugh. You should eat less.
Insane.
Oliver.
Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, I and actually, to be honest, at this point, Holt feels a little bad because he's got a bit caught up in the moment, and he sort of looks up and he goes, I'm sorry, mate, for the aggression. We still have to fight, but just know that I don't actually support Oliver. Your god's fine.
Okay. From the shadows now, from where you guys are next to the carriage, you will see another like heavily armored bloke walk out from next to one of these carriages, and he's going to start making his way towards where that fight is happening. I think it's about here. This guy's like a human, it looks like, or some other taller humanoid. And he's just wielding a big hammer in one hand. But
Okay.
he does not see you guys. He completely has his back to you as he runs around this corner.
Yeah.
And it's your turn, Milo.
Okay.
Oh, what is
just
that
had an
smirk
idea.
about? What?
I just had an idea.
Uh-huh.
No.
All right. Well, Milo is going to move. How do you check movement again? Sorry.
Like how much movement you have or distance. There's a
Yeah.
ruler tool on Roll 20.
Oh, I can't see what that is.
It's on the toolbar on the left.
On the left. Underneath the
left?
T.
Ah.
And
Yeah.
Milo
Well,
just
you know.
has 30 feet of movement, I think.
Yeah.
Unless he's in
Okay.
dog form.
Which isn't a thing, but
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll move 30 feet forward.
Okay.
And then I will move 30 more feet forward.
okay, you're dashing.
Yeah, I'll dash. Just to really like get. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's 30 there.
Maybe. Sorry.
To be like just on the other side of this this train here.
Yep. You've moved
That's
60
60,
feet.
right?
You,
Yeah.
you run fully around this train carriage that you were hiding behind now, and the train that that's lit up that you've been looking at is right in front of you, about 30 more feet ahead of you on these tracks.
Okay. Well, that'll be my turn.
Okay.
Considering that it doesn't look like anything else is happening.
Artemis, you've just seen Milo
Okay.
dash away as this other
Okay.
bloke is running around.
Can I, just for out of curiosity, can I go under the rail carriage? Like typically rail carriages, like me and you, Shwabadi, we have been very near some actual rail carriages together.
Yes.
So I know how they work.
You crawl
can
under.
There's under space.
I'm just gonna look at an image real quick to remind myself if. Okay, yeah. I just need to
No,
know
because
like
Mark-
how the spacing with the wheels worked.
Shwabadi doesn't remember any experiences.
I don't
like
remember the
that.
experiences that I've had. This is important to know about me. I don't have any memory. But no. So as you say, there
Otherwise,
is.
we wouldn't be friends. If Shwabadi remembered all the things I had done to him, he would not be my friend.
No, it's just
anymore.
in my head for some reason, like the wheels, the entire thing was just wheels the entire length, but that's not how trains work. So yeah, there is a big space in like the middle that you could crawl under.
It's your universe. If you want to say that trains are all wheels,
No, they're not all wheels.
you can.
Wheels.
There's just like 25 wheels along the side of it or something. But no. There's like 3, and then there's a big space, and then there's 3. So yeah, there's a nice big space where you could crawl under. It'll be difficult terrain though, so it would cost you double movement to move under that. So it'd be like basically your entire movement, but you would get to the opposite side of the car, close to where Connor is.
That's what I basically like here-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Actually, I guess I'm staying tight against the wall, so it'd be there. But okay, so I do that. Feels slightly more stealthy than running all the way around.
Yep.
And yeah, I
still
still
have an action if you wanted to do anything.
I'm just trying to work out what I would do with it, because again, all I want to do right now
you
is
could
get
just
to that train carriage.
Yeah, you could just dash as your action to move another 30
Yeah,
feet.
that lets you move double speed.
Oh. Then I'll do that. So from there to, it's not showing me distance, but
Just another 30.
Oh, when you're holding your token, if you right click, it'll create a ruler.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You hold your token, right click, and then
Wow.
Let's see, so I can move another 30 feet. I must be all the way out there. Oh. That's very out in the open though, so maybe actually.
There's something about this, just because nobody can see
yeah.
you, like what you're looking at in terms of where you're pondering to go. Like like we're playing XCOM. Like make sure.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna dash to up next to Milo there.
All right, cool. So yeah, you and Milo are like neck and neck. 2 different routes around, but you both are now on the opposite side of the carriage. And the carriage in question that you're
Visual
looking,
variety, you know?
the one that you're looking for
I was
is
too big to get under.
is directly ahead of you. But Halt, it's back to your scrap outside. All right, this guy's pissed that you tried to shove him, so now he's gonna try and shove you. He's very petty.
Yeah. Oh,
So he's gonna.
I mean, he's a Gildred fan. What's the name of the god again? I keep forgetting.
I've forgotten it now. Girod. G-I-R-R-O-D.
He's a Gilrod fan. They're all.
There's no L in it. I don't know if you're putting an L in there.
The Gilrod fandom's really toxic.
Girod.
Yeah, the Gilrod fandom.
Again,
Super toxic.
Girod. G-I-R-O-D.
Oh, Gilrod.
There we go.
Oh, Gilrod.
Okay. I don't know where the cell's coming from. All right. He's going to try and push you, so I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Yeah, for free. 20. He ain't.
You two are just literally just shoving each other in the chest, just posturizing against each other.
Yeah! Well, no, this is what we're doing. We're doing like when Gunther does the slaps.
Yeah.
To each other's chest. We're
For
just
wrestling
slapping
fans,
each
this is a
other's chest.
strangely happy crossover for you in this particular podcast
Yeah.
episode for some reason.
They're
They're just chopping each other in the chest.
And we're letting it like, all right, come on, hit me. Boom. Great.
All right, but yeah,
Well, it's my turn now, isn't it?
that's it. It's your turn.
Yeah. I'm going to grab him and then try and knee him in the face.
Oh my god. Okay, so unarmed strike.
Yeah, unarmed
All
strike.
right, go for it.
23.
That hits. So it's gonna
I
be
hit
5
him,
damage.
Yeah. It's 5 damage.
This guy is
smashing him in the
This guy is
face with my knee.
bleeding from his face. Like you really get him with the knee, and he's like spitting blood. He's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you really know how to fight, old man.
Oh, you. Well, I was about to say you too, but actually you don't. I could tell you weren't in the army.
All right. Is that your turn?
It kind of has to be.
Yeah. This other cleric will finally make his way out of the warehouse now. He's dashing to get to you. He's clearly out of breath in his like heavy looking armor. He gets out and he has a big old warhammer in one hand. And he's like, "Who the fuck is this then?" Oh,
is
some
that,
troublemaker.
Is that a space marine or Necron?
Welcome back to the hobby hole. I don't know what's happening. Like,
It's a really good joke.
yeah, I'm sure
It's
it
a really
was.
very good
I
joke.
just don't know
This guy's-
Warhammer, unfortunately. Anyway, Milo, it's your turn.
Okay. Artemis,
Yes.
what if we set fire to the train car?
To what end? To what end,
To
Milo?
what end?
To what
Hope-
end?
Hopefully this end.
To achieve what?
It would destroy everything inside. The guy's not going to stay in there. He'll fuck off. As soon as we set fire to it, we get out of here.
I suppose the mission wasn't necessarily to retrieve the briefcase, just to
No,
stop
it was
the
it was
intended
to stop the intended.
really
I mean,
depends
he's
But
the
on
what
one.
if there's
it
something
is.
cool in it?
What if it's a bomb? You know what I mean? What if the illegal substance is something that's flammable?
Even better.
What?
then
No,
the
sorry.
train-
I mean,
the train will
like
be
that
gone.
would create some sort of reaction that would cause an explosion.
Yeah, but we won't be in there when it happens. The fire's gonna take it. It's a
How
tinderbox. It's not a
fast do you think?
flamethrower. It's not a
Okay.
flamethrower.
I
We're using a
thought you were
tinderbox.
gonna cast like fucking fireball at it. That's what I thought you were gonna do.
No. I'm gonna set a small fire under the train car, and then it will eventually start. You know. And then the guy in there, he's just there to guard. He's not gonna pick anything up.
So what's Artemis
He's
saying
just gonna fuck off.
in response
What-
to this?
what do you- does Artemis
we
think?
are currently we are undetected. Nobody knows we're here, and we're trying to steal some stolen goods. So if they go missing, no one's going to report them missing, and thus no one will come looking for us. If we commit an act of grand arson and burn down a railway
Well,
warehouse,
that could be incidental.
Yeah.
Trains
Hey,
catch on
no
fire
one
all
knows.
the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the Northern Line?
This is what I'm saying. No one knows we're here.
Yeah. How do you
I
explain?
just don't want anyone to come looking for a potential culprit in an arson case versus a mysterious
just-
missing briefcase.
I just don't know how we're gonna get in there with that third guy in the room.
We could punch him really hard.
Oh, someone's been talking to Holt.
Our good punches outside. All right. Well,
If you want to go with the arson plan, I'm not against it.
Not
I
a
think
bad plan.
Artemis would be
Risk
very
is-
skeptical of this route, but
I like the idea of arson.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I like this
Okay.
idea.
I will just be sad that we never learn what's in the briefcase.
Yeah, well,
What,
that's
what MacGuffin.
yeah, that's what D&D is. It's just the
Yeah.
things you never get to learn.
Yeah.
I bet Mark doesn't know what's in the briefcase.
Mm.
I bet we get it and it's locked, and then he can figure it out for next time.
or
Or sorry.
okay. I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is whoa.
You good?
I thought you said if you
What? Sorry.
click and then right click it'll
It'll draw a ruler,
give
yeah.
you a
If you
it's
hold
just
your
moving,
token.
It's moving the map.
Why are you moving the... How are you moving the map?
I don't know. Okay. I guess. Well, the fire will start,
I will start.
and it will smoke the guy out of the train car.
Okay.
And then
I
we
s-
run in, and we grab the case, and then go out.
If it's
Once
any
he's,
use
like,
for
smoked
anything,
out.
I've just realised that my mage hand is still about. We still have a summoned mage hand. It hasn't been dismissed yet, so we can still use that for grabbing briefcase or setting things on fire.
Whatever route. Imagine
Yeah,
you're
if we-
in this train carriage and an orange hand comes in. You're like, "What's going on?" And then it just pulls out a match, drops it, and then leaves.
Yeah. No. Okay. I think.
Yeah.
I think what we do is we set fire, because we can always put the fire out.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
That's what I say
Yeah.
about all fires. POV. I'm in Pudding Lane in 1666. That'll be fine.
We can just put the fire out. Yeah. It's not going to be a great fire or anything.
Yeah, like. Oh god.
Holy.
I want to find a way to get this guy out of the train car.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna first use 30 feet of movement to get to the front of this train.
Okay.
So I'm here now.
Okay.
And then what I intend to do
I'm so. What do you intend to do, please?
What?
I'm on the edge of my fucking seat.
I'm thinking about it.
Could we set fire to a different rail carriage, which would cause a distraction in theory? The guy would leave that carriage to go and extinguish the flaming carriage.
Because I'm already a distraction.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
there
but
is
not one that's
something
got
of a
the guy out of the
distraction.
more
train.
distraction.
Do you think he cares about the integrity of the other train carriages? I think if another train carriage set on fire, he'd be like, "Ooh, I've got to stay in here so I don't go anywhere near that fire."
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I think he'd probably think if I don't extinguish that train carriage, the whole building might go up, including the carriage that I am in.
Yeah, but don't worry, he can just put it out. We all just put it out.
That's what I'm saying, is he would go and just put it out.
I guess so. It's just from a distance, he casts put out flames.
Oh yeah, they are magical, aren't they? God damn.
I think I'm just gonna use another perception check to do a hearing in the cart.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Give me
Oh,
another
yeah.
perception.
Oh, I'd
With
love it
advantage.
if it was two people in there talking, and one of them was like, "Oh God, we got to protect this Bob." Yeah, thank God there's no fire around.
Where do you toggle advantage on this sheet? I can't.
It should be at the
see.
top of the sheet.
Where it says automatic, you switch it over to advanced.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
19 is very good.
So walking up the door into this carriage is like just above your head. So like putting your ear near like the crack at the bottom of the door, you can hear voices, hushed voices, but still relatively clear. That of what sounds like a gruff voice speaking to a much smoother voice. There's two of them.
Okay, there is two of them.
Yeah, one of them is like,
what are they saying?
"Oh, you really should go check out the commotion, though. They've been a while. What if it's a fight or something?" "I can't leave as long as you're here, sir. I mean, now that you're here, protection is obviously my duty."
Oh, the dude's in there.
Is he the politician, dude? Does he sound like that? Would Milo recognize the voice of the politician because he's in?
I would recognize an elvish voice, and I think I would put two and two together.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
do
mean,
elves sound a certain way when they speak common?
there is an elvish accent for sure.
They would have an accent, yeah. They would have an accent.
Well, not if they'd lived
unless
in Valor's
they're
their whole
with
life.
like unless they're born in Validus and common is their first.
Does he have an
language.
elvish accent?
Not really.
Okay.
He just sounds like a
He sounds
city
softer, yeah.
goer. Yeah,
He sounds educated.
he sounds educated for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think we need to set fire to the train car. I think I just need to make a small fire with a tinderbox and smoke out the train car.
I mean, what if the goods is him?
He's been dead dropped.
Oh, yeah.
He's the dead drop, so we've got to kill him.
Were we specifically told it was a briefcase, or if we
It was.
just...
Yeah.
A briefcase is
Yeah.
the words
We-
that
we-
Hadkai used. Yeah.
Yeah. But that might just be because it's going to be a really quick murder.
Yeah,
It's a
Mm.
briefcase.
briefcase.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
Yeah. It was a really good joke,
Mm.
actually,
Uh-huh,
guys.
uh-huh.
It deserves better than that. Next time I say it.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's my turn for now.
Yes, it is Artemis.
Yeah.
Presumably, Milo has told you what he heard at this door.
Yeah, there's two people in there.
Well, I'm assuming then that I have followed Milo and am now, because otherwise I'm still back by the other train carriage and probably.
There's two
Wouldn't hear.
people in there!
We don't want to let them know we're here. Yeah. Okay. So I've moved my 30 feet
Yeah.
and I'm now up to Milo. Cool. I think it's the best thing to do at this stage. So whereabouts
have a
are you going to
tinderbox?
start this? Do I have a tinderbox? Good question. I feel like I do. Inventory. I've got a pistol. I've got. No, I don't think I do. I have woodcarver's tools. I've probably got 2 bits of wood I can.
That would take years.
I'm a professional.
I do have a tinderbox, but
I'll
obviously
take
I
that,
haven't
Milo.
given it to
Yeah, but like
Artemis yet.
Artemis can reach into your bag and get it.
Yeah. I mean that would be fine.
Okay.
If you wanted
so
to do that.
so the
If
so the
you're going
idea
for this
here is
tinderbox.
basically yeah we're gonna make a fire on the bottom portion of the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's just gonna like sort of like it's secluded to the tinderbox, but the
You're
smoke
making
is
a
going
fire
to
just
go
in the tinderbox.
Yeah. Is that possible? Is that what tinderboxes do?
Also,
Not really.
Artemis should have a tinderbox anyway.
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, it's just you don't have any of Artemis starting like tools on their sheet, but they would have the Dungeoneer's pack as an artificer, and that means
Because
would
like,
have-
because
Fair
like
enough,
when a
yeah.
fire happens, the smoke is gonna go like underneath the like crack in the door.
Uh-huh.
That's the goal here, is to try and get the smoke
Well,
going.
the thing is that you
underneath
need
the
to
crack in
light
the door.
something on fire. The tinderbox lets you
Yeah.
start a fire, but with something.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've probably got various bits of
Artemis's
scrap
wood.
wood with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just
one of the
want to
toys.
wedge a bit of
quite
wood underneath the
morbidly.
door and then set it on fire.
I wonder if that would
Yeah.
be too obvious, like that's where the fire is. If we were to dump something flaming just under the train, would the smoke
Milo
rise up
has
into
oil,
the train?
right?
I'm imagining there's like gaps and things in the train's construction. If you were to start a fire under the train, it would just emanate through the train.
Yeah.
Yes, it might take a while though.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, we've got time.
You got rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you do. You have multiple rounds.
What are you setting fire
Yeah.
to? Because you know that, I mean, you just know, your characters would know that a lot of things don't produce a lot of smoke. There's certain
Okay.
things that produce smoke, you know what I mean? If you're starting a very small fire with a single piece of wood, I don't know that it would produce a noticeable amount of smoke for the people in the car.
That's fair.
Even if it was
That's
wedged
very
into
fair.
the door.
That
I don't
is
think
fair.
it would.
That is fair.
Milo
Yeah.
has oil though, right? So if Milo just sprays oil across the bottom of the and then sets that on fire,
Why do I have oil?
it's a spell of yours, right?
Oil.
What you did. It's on your sheet. You have oil right here.
In spells.
It's on your look oil. I don't know. You have oil.
Oil.
You have oil.
I
douse
guess
space
I
with
have oil.
You can take the utilize action to pour an oil flask on level ground to cover a 5-foot square area within 5 feet of yourself.
You have oil.
I have oil.
If yeah, it's on your sheet.
oil.
It's right here.
So you just want to pour oil onto the train
oil
car?
burns for 2 rounds and deals 5 fire damage to any creature that enters the area.
I think we might be setting fire to this train car, guys.
All right. So Artemis, are you taking the oil and tinderbox from Milo,
Sure. Yes. Yeah. I take those.
and you're setting fire just to the piece of the carriage in front of you?
Yeah, I guess if we set fire to one end of the carriage, they're going to run out the other end. But then that also we're blocking the way in that we are next to with fire.
Yeah, but then we can run around the edge. But they
True.
don't go.
Yeah, I guess if there's 3 doors and they run out one of them, we can run to the one they don't use. Okay,
Yeah.
sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, then yes. We've doused this particular door in oil, and
Yeah, I mean, it lights immediately. It just this section that you've covered in oil just goes up in flames. You hear this gasp and a cry from inside of the carriage as the door bursts into flames.
Are we like surprised how well that went? 'Cause I
You
feel
are
like we
feet away from it. It's very hot, but
Yeah.
you're not taking damage or anything like that. Is that the end of your turn, Artemis? You might be able to use a bonus action or something if you have one, but you've used all your movement and you've used your action.
can I use? I'd like to use jump and get on top of the train. I feel like that might be useful.
Jump is a bonus action.
Yeah.
It is.
Have you used all your movement?
They have.
Good
They moved
question.
30 feet.
Okay.
You should have
then I
moved
can't do
20. Then you could have
Should've
jumped.
moved Okay, in which case
Yeah.
I think that's my turn. We'll just see how
Okay.
this plays out.
Okay. On the outside, I think that the dwarf and the guy out here will hear the yelp from inside, and the guy who's just showed up with a hammer will briefly sort of like look behind him. He's like, "What have you done?"
I'm trying to still make a louder noise with my MO.
Oh yeah, the dwarf that you've been sparring with is going to attempt to grapple you. So
If you smell burning, you're just having a stroke.
you have to make another strength or dexterity saving throw.
I could do that.
Yeah, the DC is what is it? You fail. The
I
DC
may
is
have
15.
No. But I
Oh?
have inspiration, so I can roll that.
Oh,
again
you
because I'm
do?
a human. We get one every
You
every
do.
day.
I forgot about that.
16.
16. You
Idiot.
succeed. You succeed. You just about wriggle out of his grasp, being inspired to do so. And it's your turn. You're facing down with 2 of these clerics now.
Right. It feels like I need to grab my sword. Is it an action to grab my sword?
No, it'd
Or
just be
will
your
you permit
movement.
me-
It'd be a part of your
Yeah.
movement to re-equip a
grab my
piece of
sword.
armor. Or weaponry, sorry.
I will have to back up and grab my sword, so I assume he will get an opportunity
He
attack
will.
on me then.
He's just going to try and
That's
make a
fine.
regular strike.
Cool.
9. He
misses.
pings off your armor.
I will riposte as part of this though.
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead.
So he's gonna. I'm gonna step away to grab my sword. As I do it, he comes in, tries to wallop me.
Yeah.
I'm going to reverse that into a tornado DDT
Holy
and slam his head onto the ground.
Okay, yeah.
If I'm hit, of course.
If you hit, let's see it.
14.
You do not hit.
I do. Okay, I try to do a tornado DDT.
Yeah.
I just sort of stroke his head, but then I go.
He didn't get all of it.
I grab my greatsword.
And
I
you
go-
are re-equipped with
and-
your greatsword.
And to do so, like, it's covered in like a bunch of my luggage and like blankets
Sure,
and whatever.
yeah.
So I pull it out like it's coming out of a mound, and everything's falling away. So it's
Yeah.
a surprise to these guys, and it shines in the moonlight. And in like, if this was a movie, you could see the terrified expression of them reflected in the blade as I pull it out. That's the
Okay.
angle.
Yeah.
Like it
I
goes
did
to
turn
slow mo
around.
as you pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I turn around and I sort of spin it in the air, and I say, "Not so homeless now."
All right. Are you making an attack here?
I know the episode name, by the way.
Neither of these people have called you homeless at any point. by the way.
You're the one who had the pretense of being homeless.
You didn't even believe that.
All right. Are you making an attack?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna do a lunging attack because
Okay.
now I'm away from him. I can do that.
What's
So
that do?
lunging attack as a bonus action, I can expend a superiority die, take a dash action. But if I move at least 5 or more feet in a straight line, which I will be because he's literally 5 feet in front of me, 5 to 10 feet in front of me, I get to make a melee attack as part of the attack action, and I get to add the superiority die to the damage roll. So I
Alright.
just charge at him with the greatsword.
Yeah. 10?
Well, I get a 10.
You miss.
Yeah, he goes, ole! Sword goes into the wall.
You were like, in your head you were moving in slow motion, but then in real life you were also moving in slow motion. So you just kind of like stepped to the side.
Oh, okay. Well, that's life, huh? You just miss.
Did you want to? You have your grazing damage.
Oh, I do have grazing damage. Oh my gosh. So I still graze him for, what is that? 6.
6?
5?
No. Oh God.
No,
you can deal
it's-
damage equal to the
it's,
ability modifier used to make the attack roll. So just your strength.
Yes. No, yes.
Yeah.
No, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so
What
4.
is so 4? All right. So he will take 4 damage. This guy, even as you graze him, like the cut like makes him like almost drop down.
No, it's the ability. Sorry.
The ability
So
modifier.
it is 6 because it adds the proficiency, right?
No. The ability modifier is just the ability.
Then it's 4.
Yes. Yeah. So he takes 4 anyway.
Sorry.
And as you cut him, he sort of like struggles to keep on his feet. He's clearly really hurt.
Oh, then what actually happens then is I graze past him, but it's like one of those cool anime moments where everything goes black and you see the swing, and then I stand there with my sword forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of stays standing, but with some effort.
Do I still then add the superiority die to the attack then? Because I technically hit? Or did I not?
You didn't hit. Yeah, so your attack roll misses a creature, but you can still deal damage. And I'm assuming the superior, you can only roll the superiority die when it hits, right?
Yeah. Before hitting with melee attack as part of it. You can add your superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and I guess it's not a roll.
It's not a damage roll. All right.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
That's it.
All right.
On
Milo,
this side of it.
Artemis, in response to the fire raging at the front of this carriage, the door on the east side of this carriage, you're going to hear it burst open as hold on, let me move these from the GM layer. As somebody jumps down onto the gravel of the train yard, and you hear the panicked tone of this possibly an elf, maybe guy, like, oh, what's happening, and then the other bloke responding, just keep calm, stay behind me. But that's gonna be from that. So this other guy with a hammer is very conflicted now, because he can hear something's happening back in the warehouse, but he really wants to deal with you, Holt. So he's going to try and make a hammer attack.
I put myself in melee range with him as well.
You really
on
have,
purpose.
because you charged towards him. So he's definitely going to be like focused on you. He's going to try and make a hammer attack.
I think out of superiority dice now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riposte. Yeah. So
18. Does that hit?
it sure does.
All right.
It sure does.
So you're going to take this damage, which is 7.
7.
And then you have to make a wisdom saving throw, because this hammer, as you see it come down, it's charged with some sort of holy light.
Oh, yikes. Not a wisdom save. Not hold. 5.
5 does not succeed, unfortunately. So you're going to take an additional... What's it?
What if I use Tactical Mind?
What is that?
It's a new thing with a fighter. When I fail an ability check, you can expend a use of my second wind to push myself towards success.
Ah.
It's a saving throw though. I don't think that counts.
Maybe not.
Because usually they say ability check or saving throw. I'm going to assume it doesn't count.
I'm going to say so as well. You take 7 radiant damage. And 7 bludgeoning damage. So 14 altogether. As this hammer strikes you, it's a burst of radiant light.
Oh, thank God. I genuinely thought it was going to be something like mind control.
No. It's
I start going, Gearod's great. Gearod's great. Gearod. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get a
and then
burst of
curiously
radiant damage
he's gonna shuffle over so that he's right next to his other cleric friend. And then that's the end of his turn. Milo, it's your turn.
Okay.
It's on fire.
It is on fire.
Yeah.
We have probably
The fire
also
is
lost
spreading.
a lot of the cover of darkness that we had because we're now.
Oh, this room is so bright right now.
Milo, do you have light vision? Perchance?
Can I quickly peek around this corner?
I will say, unless you make a stealth check here, you know that they are looking this way. So if you peek around this corner,
they're looking at the.
Whatever you do to peek around, they will see you.
All right, because how much movement is this right now?
To move fully around this carriage would be probably your entire movement.
Well, actually, my entire movement I think would get me into the carriage.
By which means the flaming door, or
The door at the back.
the door at the very back.
Yeah.
If
the
you
door at the
dashed,
back, which...
if you dashed, you could get to the door at the back and probably climb in.
Yeah.
You'd have to dash though.
Yeah, I'd be 10 feet inside the carriage.
No, because you had to climb to get to because it's 7 feet off the ground. You're climbing like a little mini ladder thing to get in. It would take all your movement, and you would just be in the carriage.
I'd just be in the carriage.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
fine as well.
Gonna do that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, you sprint around this carriage up to the north side, and you see this door. You clamber up a couple metal handholds, and you open the door. It's unlocked, and you are inside of the carriage.
Okay. Do I see a
Empty.
briefcase?
What is your passive perception? I'm not going to make you do a perception check here, but what is your passive perception?
My
high, isn't it?
passive perception is
11.
11.
You don't see a
From
briefcase.
I don't see the briefcase passively.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So I'm gonna have to look for the briefcase. I see. Well, I used all my movement,
Yeah.
so I'll leave it there.
Okay, Artemis.
What else is in this thing? Does he see?
Do I see anything else passively?
The carriage, it's like a pretty decked out private carriage. There's not a ton of seating because there's quite large tables between different seats. There's even a small bar area set up in the middle. That's obviously everything's currently unmanned. But all the spaces that you can see where luggage would fit above the seating is completely empty.
What about the 2 people?
There are no people inside right now.
They're outside. They moved.
Oh, they left.
Because the carriage is on fire.
MB.
He heard them burst out of the eastern side door.
Okay. My bad. I guess Artemis was going to have to check if they're carrying a briefcase.
It is your turn, Artemis.
Okay, in which case, I think, can I... If I were to jump onto the roof, I could look down on them, and hopefully they wouldn't notice. Is my
You're
thing.
gonna jump over the flames.
Yeah.
Man with jetpack really keen to use it.
Yeah, look, I don't have like many exciting things I can do in this instance, but I can jump really high. Okay.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
the best thing to do.
All right, you want to use jump?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay, yeah, you
definitely jump up onto the roof of the carriage.
You jump and you leap up onto the roof of this carriage, jumping over the flames. It doesn't extend to the ceiling of the carriage yet. It's mostly the bottom of the door and the walls of the carriage that are on fire. As you do so, you can look over the edge of the carriage, and you see that outside of the carriage there is another dwarf in that Girod armor with a hammer, and there is this man in a suit, an elvish man in a quite prim suit, and he is clutching desperately this black briefcase.
Okay. Okay. Okay, how best to get a briefcase from the man without killing the man?
Yeah, we absolutely cannot kill this man. Like,
because I have a gun. I could just. They don't know I'm there. I could just like
just bang him from the roof.
Yeah.
he would die. I'm going to
Straight
tell
to
you
the
that
head,
right
yeah.
now. He would die immediately.
I don't want to have to kill this guy, but you know, I also don't want him to get this briefcase. So,
Do you think you could catapult something at the briefcase to knock it out of his hands?
I do
You
have
could try. Yeah, you could try. And
Could I
knock him out.
catapult the briefcase?
What's the requirements for casting catapult?
Let me just get my
Does it have to be
sheet
something
back
you can touch? What's the range?
Oh, it might be something you have to touch. Yeah.
Choose one object
catapult.
within range that isn't being worn or carried.
It is
that
being
object
carried.
flies in
yeah,
a
yeah.
straight line.
It is being carried.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
Okay.
being carried. Oh, otherwise you could.
Wow, yeah, that would be
catapult
crazy.
Something else at the briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if I can make him drop it. I've got my mage hand sort of hovering about still. Can I tap him on the shoulder to
how
make him
far
jump
can your
from
mage
behind?
hand move?
It has 30 feet of range around me, so I'm just assuming it's been following me.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
strength
Mage
strength
hand is in
check
concentration, so-
between a regular man and a mage hand.
I think mage hand is pretty weak, but the question is is it weaker than this guy?
Yeah.
Like, it can't attack. I was just thinking, like, if it was to make him jump, would he drop the case?
Yeah, it can't carry more than 10 pounds. How heavy is a briefcase?
Less than
What's in
that.
it?
Well, yeah, an empty briefcase less than that. Something within. It depends what the thing is.
Yeah.
We don't
Well, it
know.
doesn't need to carry anyway. It just needs to knock it out.
true.
Its hands.
Okay. I don't know what to do.
I would go for that. Try and knock the briefcase out of his hands
With a mage hand. I think using
Okay,
the mage
yeah.
hand on the briefcase is a good idea.
Okay, we're gonna the mage hand's gonna swoop in and sort of like try and startle him into dropping the briefcase and knock it out of his hand.
Okay.
Like maybe knock it towards the flames.
So this orange hand manifests in front of him between this armored figure and this suited guy, and it kind of just like tries to slap the briefcase out of his hands.
Kinda, yeah.
As it appears, even then he just flinches and it goes down to try and slap it. And I guess he'll try and make a strength check against the strength of the mage hand, which I'm just gonna rule as it's gonna be low. Like
It can just be Artemis's strength because Artemis's strength is low anyway.
I'm gonna
The strength of the hand is the strength of one's mind.
We could, yeah.
When
Well,
you think about it.
Well,
Well, my mind's pretty strong.
yeah, it is a cantrip though. I'm tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make it a
Is that what you
DC. I'm gonna make it a DC 10.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it would be
Just right in the middle.
That's what I would
It's a
suggest
really
anyway.
easy check for him to succeed, but
Yeah.
he is quite weak. So
Weak.
he looks quite weak. So
Let's see.
we'll see if he can succeed. He succeeds.
Wow.
So you slap the briefcase and he manages to keep hold of it, and the armored guy turns around, and as he does, he looks up, Artemis, and he sees you. And we're going to pick this up in 2 weeks' time to be continued.